And parking area, okay. This is one I'm not terribly familiar with at this point. Gordon, do you wanna
Yeah, I do.
answer that?
A good question. Number one, the work being planned for phase one does not include any work for the repairs and that are on the slips or the expansion to that parking lot that I have up on the screen. That is part of phase two, and will be done when the board and the owners decide that it's time to launch that second phase. I don't know if that answers your question. I hope it does.
And actually,
No, it doesn't.
let me add to that
Okay.
a little bit, Joanne, because this might help. The whole phase two effort is an effort that the board and all the owners need to take a look at. There are a lot of decisions that need to be made around that, costs that we can or cannot incur, depending on what the owner decisions are. So I would actually say, at this point, we don't have an answer for you on that yet, because that would be a phase two discussion that would have to happen with all the owners. So I would say, let's delay that until we get to that type of a question and discussion period, which will probably happen next year.
Marilyn, there's one comment, you need to realize that.
Oh, hold on a second, Jim.
And Tim
you have something
Tim
there?
can back me up on this, but that trailer parking and boat slip deal is a money generator for the association. That's not a free service, people pay for that.
They pay minimal, Jim. I also put a note in there that I will provide what other places pay for that, because we're like $500.
Hey, Joanne, I understand, but we're doing limiting it to one question. If you have, we're happy to discuss this in more detail with you offline. So feel
Okay.
free to follow up with the board members, yep. Okay, the next person, Paul, did you have a question about foreclosures? Or was this supposed to ask Paul? All right, let's see, Diane Corky?
Yes, that's
Yes, hey Diane, how you doing? So you had a question about the maintenance schedule? So
Well,
start
I
with
did, I've already spoke with Glenn about it.
Oh, good.
And I'm still up in the air about it, so hopefully it will get worked out.
Do you want to talk offline about it instead? Would that be easier?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. Scott Wood? Scott
WEED, weed.
Weed, okay, great. Scott, you had a
4001.
question, no topic.
Those cable covers that have been sitting out here, were they supposed to leave with LHR? Do we own those, or, they for sale, they for taken?
Okay, so there are some,
Marketplace?
just so everyone can hear the question. And name and unit number.
Scott, weed, 4001.
4001, okay. Scott is asking about some cable covers that we have out in the back lot currently, and what they're going to be used for and who owns them. Okay, so,
Yeah, they belong to LHR.
Well,
and
they
they'll,
do.
They do. They gotta pick them up.
Okay.
According to,
I heard different.
yeah, they're ours, because they asked me to find a way to dispose them by
so
selling.
let's confirm that with LHR
Okay.
first, and if it turns out they are available, we'll let you know.
You're
Marketplace.
gonna get $6 a piece. is what they're-
Get something for it.
Get rid of them.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, multiple questions at this point. We have Linda Walsh. Linda, which I know you're online, you spoke before, one additional question, we're taking them one at a time again, so we can spread out as much as possible for everybody's questions.
Okay, one question only, this is to Jim. What is the cost for labor only for a single finished top coat of paint? Because that has to be subtracted from the big wind claim payment, which right now is at 1.6 million. Like building 5, I'm owed $7,883 right now. But you know, are you gonna provide that? Because you're the subject matter
Hey,
expert.
Linda, yeah, let's give Jim a chance to answer.
Yep.
Do you have that
You-
fact by any chance handy, Jim, or should we do it
Say
offline?
that one more time, Linda, repeat the question. You wanted a per hour cost or a total
No.
cost for painting?
Well, I read your grade analysis on the wind claim, misbilling,
Yeah.
and you said the cost for labor only for a single finished top coat of paint needs to be subtracted. So I'm wondering, you're the subject matter expert, you're the only one that would know.
I would be making a guess at this point in time. We need to get that from custom, but it's gonna be a conversation between LHR and custom. LHR is gonna think they're entitled to all the insurance money, and we're saying, no, you're not. We're only gonna pay you for one coat. and they're gonna have to go back to custom and work out what they think that one code's worth. I have a good idea, but I would be guessing at this point in time.
And Linda, that'll be the subject of the forensic accounting analysis that's done and the resulting disputes that need to be resolved. So let's get back to you on that as we have more information in the process.
Okay, but just a comment on what you just said, I hope LHR doesn't think they can keep $1.6 million of the wind claim money. That would be absurd.
And
But
yeah,
thank
they
you.
won't, we certainly won't have them keep any money that they're not entitled to, okay? The next multiple question I have is Robert and Tazio, but is Robert still here or online? Robert? I don't think he was here, yeah. Okay, Joanne, I have another question from you, increasing the size of the boat trail parking, is that the same question you asked before?
No, I switched them around. So when I was there this winter and spring, I watched the rain, especially in the spring and summer, and in the atriums, and never saw puddling. And I talked to Chris Robinson about it, and he goes, yeah, the sand seems to be working well for drainage and helping with that. So I don't know, can you just explain why we have to redo the atriums after how many years that they've been there?
Okay, so
If
your question is, why is the drainage fix included in the phase 1 project for the atriums?
Yeah,
Okay.
and if we looked at other ways of doing it, inexpensively.
Yeah,
You want me to address that?
Yeah, go ahead, Jim.
Sure, Jim, go ahead.
Yeah, we've had when we get heavy rains, we've had standing water in building 2, I know, and until the ground absorbed it. Building 4, they had standing water that would actually run in the elevator pit on the, I think it was the north side. When those atriums were built, I don't believe there were any pavers. It was open ground and it was of sandy conditions. It may have not been a problem back in 79 and 80 when those were built. But those atriums have been remodeled, they've added pavers, there's runoff, and now absorption is a problem. And at this point in time, we really don't want standing water. I know building 2, there's times when you can only use part of the sidewalk after a heavy rain. We really need to have drainage in there.
Has that, Jim, been when there's sand there, or is that when the pavers were there?
With the pavers, building 2, we added all pavers and we had it.
That's
We had a
so
problem
probably-
before, but it got worse with the pavers.
Hey,
Yeah,
Joanne, hang on a second. Joanne, hold on a second. It's a single question, not a discussion. If you want to talk further, we're happy to talk about any topic that you would like after we finish the owner question period. So feel free to follow up with any of us after that period, okay? All right, we also have,
How should we follow up? I guess I don't know how.
okay, I am currently in the room and will be available after the meeting to answer any questions. In addition, you can email me any questions that you have at any time, and of course you can email the other board members as well. Most of our email addresses are up on the website. If not, we'll certainly be filling that in. In addition, if you'd like to get together and talk, just email me your phone number and we can set up a time to talk in more detail.
You could be getting one email address for everybody and set up a group email for the board.
We can certainly look into that.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Robert Corey had an additional question on LHR and custom painting invoices and payment. Is Robert in the room? Robert Corey on Zoom? Not here? Okay. And so last we have Angela. Did you have additional
Yes, I do.
an additional question?
I'll ask one question.
Thank you, I appreciate
Where
that.
are we with the 22, 23, and 24 audit? Same question I asked at the last meeting.
It's a really good
We
question.
paid $18,500
Yep.
for a retainer for 3 years,
Yep.
and we have nothing.
Well,
Have we filed a tax return? Because
that's the second question, Angela.
typically
Second
you
question.
do an audit,
Hang
and
on.
then you file a tax return.
Let me get an answer for you on your first question. Okay, Angela would like to know where we are currently with the audits that we are doing, which would basically be the 2022 audit that Stromer has been contracted for to do, because of course, until that one is done, we don't do the 2023 or 24. Paul, do you have an update on that, or is that something we need to follow up with Angela after the meeting on? Is Paul still there?
Not seeing.
Oh, we lost Paul. Okay, so I have to say, Angela, let me follow up with you after the meeting on that, because I do not have an update for you on that topic. Thank you. All right, that is it for the owner questions that we were signed up for. So we are finishing the owner question period. As I say, I am staying around, so anyone who wants to ask additional questions, talk about anything of concern, Angela, I'm happy to follow up with you as well. Let me know, anyone who needs on Zoom, who wants to follow up on specific issues or topics not covered in today's meeting, feel free to email the board members, including myself, and we'd be happy to talk with you anytime. Thanks very much.
We
Meeting's
can
ended.
ask questions